Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sayyid Sharik Waqar with his YouTube channel program. Today, Insight with us. Today, very important and very respectable guest with Muhammad Imran Saab is available with us. He's managing partner of AE Taqweem and Company and also associated with different faculties as visiting associate professor, International Islamic University and FAST National University as audit and assurance teacher and management and accounting and taxation teacher. He is also contesting National Council election for Institute of Cost and Management Accountant of Pakistan for the period of 21 and 23. He's also a member of Islamabad branch council, very learned and very active and very dynamic personality. We warm welcome Mr. Imran Saab. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you,
Absolutely fine.
Mr. Sharik Wakar, for providing me the opportunity to interact with you and through you with the members across the board.
Let's start formally start. First of all, I would like to know your experience in this cost and management accountancy firm, because most of the professional are very rare. I think in a few hundred numbers would prefer to come in practice. What was your experience, or what is your experience, and what is the why you take this initiative? What is the reason behind it? Can you please guide us?
Yeah, Sharik Bhai, I started my career with a chartered accountancy firm, and later on I moved to industry. I headed Rastagar Engineering Company as CFO for 8 years. And I'm lucky enough, very rare members are get the opportunity to get into the industry. So I headed a big industry that is a 50 years old industry, Rastagar Engineering Company, that makes auto parts and exports across the globe. So I headed it as CFO. So I got quite good insight into the dynamics of the industry. So when I was the student, and later on when I qualified, I saw that we are lacking in market recognition. So that made me think that we should contribute to our society. I have, mashallah, 20 years of experience, and this experience spans with working as a with a multinational company, working as director of finance of Ghulam Isa Khan University, and working as CFO of Rastagar Engineering Company. After working through all those responsibilities, I decided to have to take next venture of my professional career, and I moved into the practicing profession. Before moving to the practicing profession, I have the privilege to devise and develop the QCR framework document for ICMAP that was lacking for 60 years. So my passion continued with the public practice. So this passion and the market situation just pushed me to get into the public practice. So Alhamdulillah, I am running my own consultancy firm that is doing wonders, and that is highly successful. Right now, we are doing some assignments with NAB. I am doing investigative audits. I'm doing financial audits, and I also want to venture into the cost audits, etc.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Before coming some question for our newcomers also, especially in this field of CMA practice, I would like to have you have some highlight your vision about this national council agenda, the election of 21-23 we are going to contest. I guess you are for the second time you are contesting for national council. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. So thank you. Well, first of all, if members give us chance and they pose their confidence and trust into us, first of all, we would like to take up the governance matter. Governance is first and foremost thing. We want to bring in 15 to 20 years of strategic plan for ICMAP, because I have seen for the last many NCs, one NC takes some initiatives, but the other NC just takes a U-turn or just reverses that. So we want to synergize the things. We want to synergize with all the people. We want to take them on board. We want to have their ownership for all these strategic policies. And it is my vision and vision of the people who are like-minded with me that we would develop 15 to 20 years strategic plan for ICMAP, keeping in view the market dynamics, etc. Number two, when you are at the helm of affairs and taking strategic decisions, you should not indulge yourself into day-to-day nitty-gritty matters and administrative matters. Our second thought, apart from the 15 to 20 years strategic plan, is that we should have a clear-cut demarcation between the governance, the highest governing body, National Council, and the executive directors and the secretariat. So there should be clear-cut demarcation, and the NC should not indulge into the day-to-day affairs of the institute. They should just give their vision, strategic plans, etc. So this is our tier 2 for governance. Tier 3. Sharik Bhai, you must be witnessing that there is no succession plan at the National Council, and people continue to move from one NC to the NC and without any break. So no one is able to contribute for a longer period of time because a human being has a capacity to perform. If we take the example of ICAP has the president and their presidency is just for 1 year. And whosoever comes on the leadership role as president, he performs with the full energy and with full zeal. But if a person continues for 12 years, that zeal dies down. So it is of no use to keep on moving without any direction or keep on moving without any energy or passion, etc. So our third tier is that we will make amendments in our regulations, and the term of the president will be just for 1 year. And for an NC of 3 years, there would be three presidents of ICMAP who would be taking their turns and leading to ICMAP to next heights. The fourth tier is that we want to limitize the terms for the council members as well. So this is our vision that we would limit the terms for the NC members for just two. So even if with a break, they can come at the most for 2 terms. So this is our vision, Sharik Bhai, that we want to bring good governance at ICMAP because we are the champions of good governance and we should behave like the champions of good governance. Next tier is that you must have seen during the electoral process, because it is sometimes, rather many times, it becomes not up to the mark and it touches the downsides, and there is a blame game, etc. So we want to fix this matter, and it is our vision that we would bring in the electoral reforms at ICMAP, and we would put a ban on writing the names of the council members during the electoral process on the CPD activities. The CPD activities would keep on going, but whosoever is contesting the elections, his or her name would not be included on the flyers and brochures of ICMAP, because that is unethical to put to launch the CPD activities and to put your names. So we won't restrict the CPD activities, but we wish to eliminate the names of the council members if we get a chance. So we want to bring in these electoral reforms. Similarly, at the National Council level, we take pride to have a great number of people abroad at overseas branches. This is the issue that we want to empower the overseas members, and we want to have a permanent seat for the overseas members at the National Council, for which we have to definitely change our laws and change our regulations. Similarly, next year for governance is that we want to bring in a permanent seat for the small cities, just like Multan or Faisalabad, etc. So if you look at the governance, we have all these wishes and we have all these targets to achieve in our next NC, inshallah. So this was about governance.
Yes, lovely. As you talk in your conversation, whenever a new NC came and will take a U-turn, and many times the past NC who started, especially in we saw in so many times, Even the last NC, when Mr. Iqbal Ghori headed the National Council as
Yeah.
president, he took the initiative and so many good things, especially the costing boards. Even I had a chance to work with him. And when the time to deliver has come out, the period is over, and the next successor roll up the complete program. So, what do you think? Currently, the current National Council, whatever steps they are taken, when you, inshallah, came in the power, rather to say that came in the council, so would you like to continue their legacies or just roll out? And what is your opinion? Any of their current policy is are okay, need to be continue or need to be re-engineer or just shut it down? Sir, over to you.
Sir, thank you. It's a really good question. Sir, we would take the things on just on merit. We won't roll back the things. We would take the things on their merit, and we would continue all the good initiatives that anyone has taken. Because if anything is for the benefit of ICMAP, we would be glad to continue it, irrespective of whosoever has done that. Because we have a big heart, and we want to take ICMAP to new heights. So it would be insane to just discontinue anything just because anyone else or some other group or some other people that perhaps might not be in our good books. But that is insane if we totally reverse anything, or if we put hurdles into some good initiatives. This is our institute, and we have to take it to new heights. So we would continue all those things that are good and that have merit. But all those things that have some problems, for example, we have quite big objection regarding the open tap exemptions. Yes, definitely we would review it, but we won't review it with blind eyes and just deaf ears. We would take a critical view of all those things, and we would have the sessions with the members, and we would have a study of all the international bodies, and it would be a revisit to all the things instead of just closing down the things.
Acha,
So all the good initiatives that the any NC has taken, we would just like to continue those things. Sir.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. One more thing, as you are a teacher also, you are a faculty member of a FAST University and Islamic University also, and you have a great contribution in
Yeah.
ICMP also. And in different forum we are listening there is an issue in about books in library. So I would like to ask that why we are not promoting our own writers. uh, since the 25 to 26 year of my professional experience, and including the tenure in ICMAP, that it is about 30 years, I never see any promotion from ICMAP side for the our local writers. Now another issue about Kaplan, and we are listening. You know better what is that. So, what is the problem with us? Why our own? We have our seniors. They are universities. They can write. They can share their experiences. We have so many new ideas would be come out from this process. Over to you, sir. How you think about it?
Sharik Bhai, another really good question from your side. Yes, why don't we introduce our own books or the books written by our members, or some learned person, professionals locally available, or from our CMA fraternity? Well, we have seen Khwaja Amjad Saeed Saab, who has written many good books. And may Allah bless him with Jannah. We have also studied his books. Similarly, there is a great gentleman, Mirza Munawar Hussain. His books are all-time great. Similarly, we have in Islamabad, Nazir Ahmad Shaheen Saab. His books on corporate laws are just top-notch. So there is no harm into introducing your own textbooks written by the local writers, but at the same time, since it's a global phenomena and the market is continuously developing and devising and improving, so there should be a good mix and match of all those things. Yes, we have to take on board all the good books written by learned professors or learned professionals locally, but we should also keep an eye on the international developments. So we would have a good blend of all those things. And if RNC comes, we have some good vision regarding education as well. Just like the universities. Universities normally, I have headed as Director of Finance at GIK, there was a practice of having board of studies, and they took on their board of studies international professors of repute from top-notch 100 top 100 universities. They took them on their board of studies. So we want to have some international professors, some international CMAs or international CAs on our board of studies who would be contributing with their suggestions regarding our syllabus, etc. Because it is of no good use if just the council members decide the curriculum. The curriculum is a great thing that should be devised and that should be updated in line with the international standards and emerging trends to ensure that the contents of all these subjects are relevant to the market. So all those technological developments, data mining, artificial intelligence, etc., all those things must be included in the curriculum. Apart from that, Sharik bhai, if you allow me,
Yes, of course.
we have seen that a profession develops and its technicality and its technical soundness is established only when we introduce practical trainings. So, if you take the example of CAs, they have a full-fledged grade structure of articles. So, if chance is given that we would be experimenting with the practical trainings so that our students should have the capability of handling the things practically instead of just doing things on an imaginary way. So our vision is that we should introduce some practical trainings or some practical modules. They should be, yes, perhaps that might be some introduction of articles as well. We have to deliberate on that and we have to take on board different members on that. Similarly, regarding education, case studies. ICMAP has to put in place a full-fledged structure for research, and for that the case studies also improve the capacity and quality of the students. So we would keep on improving the syllabus, but not just erratic increases or decreases in number of papers. It would be a continuous glide and it would be a continuous improvement for syllabus, just in line with the international best practices, so that if we change the syllabus, it should improve our standings in comparison with the MRAs already signed with different international accounting bodies. We would be revisiting the MRAs, and through the improvement in the syllabus, we would be improving the MRAs in our favor, so that all those members who are working abroad, they might get benefit with the MRAs through those MRAs, improvement in the MRAs. And we have also vision to introduce new MRAs with some other international accounting bodies. So this is our vision to improve the education through syllabus. Now let's move on to our initiatives that we would take regarding the quality of faculty. Unfortunately, we have seen some political influence regarding faculty. This is one of the reasons for decline in education, apart from the open tap exemptions, etc. So we would like to have hiring of the faculty on just like on merit. And similarly, we would keep in touch with our members who would be visiting the classes, who would be sitting inside the classes to see if the professors or if the lecturers or if the teachers, faculty members come prepared, or they just come without preparation. So we would discipline the education as well. Over to you.
Lovely. So one more question, because you are now contesting candidates, and inshallah, when you come in the national council, though you the part of the decision making team and decision making and plus execution team.
Yeah.
What gap you feel in our examination and teaching system as compared to international standards? We were talking about you need to synchronize, and this is your vision, need to synchronize with the international standard. So what is the gap you feeling right now? Especially, you think there is some dip has come out since in the last 3 years? There is any problem has come up?
Yes, sir. No, I would like to, because the examination is a sensitive issue, and talking publicly on that, perhaps that would not be good. But I would talk in a sugar-coated way. Yes, we need to improve our educational, our examination system. Yes, sometimes you
Okay,
see
let's
very
come on the
lenient.
faculty. Let's come on the faculty. Okay, no problem. Keep it
Okay.
secret. Just come on the faculty.
Yes, if we look at the faculty, well, to put it straight, the faculty does not equip the students to combat the challenges of examination. So there is a mismatch between the level set by the education and the level that is expected at the examination. So we would improve the education level so that it should be in parity with the examination level. Definitely, students suffer because of lack of quality of education, but sometimes the examination standard is quite high. So we would like to have the improvement in faculty hiring and improvement in the education system so that the education and examination just sync with each other.
Obviously, this is a wonderful idea because this
And
question.
similarly, sir, we would like to have a practical orientation in exams. The exam should not just be testing the students on their theoretical knowledge, but it should have a good blend of practical knowledge as well. There I would like to quote two examples. If we look at the curriculum of ICAP, they have two papers for audit. One is of intermediate level and the other audit paper is of advanced level. But at ICMAP, we have just an intermediate level of auditing. So if we want to get into the public practice and get to the audit rights of above 10 million, so we would like to introduce the advanced level of audit and assurance so that it should have a comprehensive coverage and advanced level coverage of the auditing paper as well. Similarly, at ICMAP, we have just one intermediate level taxation paper, but it does not include all the practical technicalities relating to taxation. For example, how to get refunds, how to get exemption certificates, how to file appeals, how to have reply to the notices, etc. All these practical technicalities are not dealt with in our curriculum. They just teach the academic concepts, but the practical concepts are missing. So we want to have a review on how to improve our taxation, our corporate laws, etc., so that the people who just qualify those papers, they are able enough to handle all those things and to handle all those complications. So we want to have a good blend of education and examination, and having a good sync with both these tiers of education and examination.
Lovely.
And similarly, we want to have the best practices from international accounting bodies as well. And we would be having a comparison of our quality and the difficulty level of our examination papers as compared to the papers of, say, CIMA or ICAEW, etc. So we would be having a comparison of the examination strategies of ICMAP in comparison with the international accounting bodies. Yes, sir.
Sir, lovely explanation, and thanks for this detailed explanation. Now, as you are a Toastmaster, added this Toastmaster activity as a wonderful activity, and your confidence is relaying this. I must want to ask one question: why not such type of activity being the mandatory part of our curriculum? I believe, this is the major problem. Many of our students, because we are coming from middle class and semi-middle class backgrounds, and especially exposure in English language is very hard for many of us. So why is not such type of activity is only through informal channel, like on consults basis, on workshops and seminar basis? Why not it is being the mandatory part of our curriculum? Is it possible?
Yes, sir, it is quite possible and it is quite necessary. Well, when we were the students, we lacked all those things because there was no structure of communication skills or presentation skills. And we have been witnessing this deficiency throughout for the last couple of years. We took the initiatives at Islamabad back in 2011. We started ICMAP Toastmasters Club at Islamabad, and Alhamdulillah, I was the founding member of that club, and I remained on its ExCom executive committee on different positions, just like Vice President Education, Vice President was Vice President Corporate Relations, Vice President Education, Corporate Relations, etc. And similarly, last year I remained its president. I remained president of ICMAP Toastmasters Club. It's a wonderful platform that prepares the members and students for different situations. For example, Toastmasters tells you how to conduct a news conference, or how to hold a good seminar, or how to tell a story, and it tells you how to face an angry mob or angry audience. Similarly, it tells you lots of the things. It tells you how to have facial expressions, intonation, your hand gestures, your body language, your confidence, etc., etc. So, yes, it is quite necessary to introduce such things at ICMAP. When I was in the branch, I introduced ICMAP Professional Grooming Club, and through that, we brought in quite great speakers out of the students and out of the members. Similarly, we would like to have, apart from the Toastmasters, we would like to introduce TED Talks at ICMAP as well. And it would be made a compulsory thing. Right now, the current council doesn't have or doesn't consider it important, and we are missing this thing for long. When I was the vice chairman of Islamabad Branch Council, I introduced a compulsory necktie for the classes of stage 6. So it was compulsory for stage 6 students to wear a necktie. But since most of the students were from the middle classes, so the branch took the initiative to gift neckties to those students. And all those students who were wearing jeans, etc., they were not allowed to enter into the campus. It was quite good experience with the students, because you remained also the student, and you must be knowing the psyche of the students. So it was a good experience with the students, and the students were groomed enough, and the people appreciated them when they faced the audience. So it is quite important. Even if these are technical papers, there must be presentations, compulsory presentations, so that the students' capabilities, their presentation skills, their confidence boosts up, and they feel confident when they venture into their practical fields. So presentation, communication skills, Toastmasters, TED Talks, etc. These are quite important. Similarly, presentation skills competition should be there, because these are the things that groom these students. We took the initiatives when we were in the branch. We sent the students on industrial visits. But before sending them to the industrial visits, we totally polished them on the business processes of the cement sector or of the oil and gas sector. Similarly, we took the initiatives for sending the members and students on budget sessions. And if the members pose their interest, we have wonderful ideas for the professional grooming. For example, we would send our students to the AGMs of different companies, so that they should know how to conduct a session, and how to have the command on the parliamentary affairs. So this is the area that would boost the students, and it would groom the students. And yes, it has great potential, and our students would be technically sound, but apart from that, they should have, and they would have good command on the presentation and communication skills, because these are the skills, if they are equipped enough, they would be able to get into the market, and would be able to get the confidence from their CEOs or from their CFOs or from their BOD, etc. Yes, Sharik bhai.
Thank you again for another detailed explanation. One little might be the feedback you take another. What qualities you want to see in faculty? So many, sometime teacher, as you say earlier, the faculty is not granted classes on merit basis. There's so many senior people there who can't challenge their qualification. 25 year, 30 year experience, 20 years experience, 15 years experience, and everybody pass on after a very hectic process. So sometime, uh, if you judge them, ask IFRS and what about what it is update in consolidation, IFRS, leasing as far as sometimes they are not uh, aware of it. And many of the senior teacher complained about this. This type of question asked to them, they had been rejected. What, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, just want to check, just better to check their confidence level and their way of communication and way of expressing and way of convincing, okay, how they teach. They can teach because they have knowledge. They can refresh them. What do you think, sir?
Sir, yes, we witness quite great teachers, great faculty members. For example, if we take the example of ICMAP Islamabad, we had seen Sarwar Saab, we have seen Bisharat Mirza Saab, we have seen Nazir Ahmed Shaheen Saab, Jasra Saab, all those things. All those people, they were great teachers, and they just managed to explain all those complicated ideas, all those complicated concepts in a very simple way. So they were great teachers, and we would like to have great teachers at this time as well. But there are some exceptions as well. We have seen some teachers who had 25 to 30 years of professional experience on their jobs. Similarly, they had quite great experience of 15, 20, 30 years of teaching experience. But sir, there is always decline in passion and energy. We have seen the experienced teachers having 20 to 30 years of experience, but they were not coming up regularly. For example, if there is a class of 45 minutes, if a teacher, experienced teacher comes late, so he cannot do justice with that. Similarly, even if you are an experienced teacher, you have to just have a skimming through all the concepts summarily before coming to the class, so that you should respond to the students, or you should keep the interest of the students intact. So having experience or having less experience, yes, it matters, but sometimes other things also matter. For example, I have seen some young teachers at ICMP Islamabad. In those classes, there were 200 students at some time. There is a teacher, Mr. Khurram Rizvi, who used to occupy the whole ICMAP campus auditorium fully loaded with 200 students. Even some students were standing. So yes, there are quite great examples for the young faculty members as well. But I have seen the classrooms with the teachers having 30 to 35 years of experience, and in front of them just 10 to 15 students just sat down. So there is always exceptions are always there, but the administration and the council has the responsibility to keep a check on the faculty members, even if they are experienced or even if they have got just 5 to 6 years of experience. The campus must have an eye over the quality of the education. And if the students, yes, there is a proper mechanism of getting the feedback from the students, but when the students give the feedback, even then the faculty members are not changed. That is not a justice with the students. Similarly, there are some faculty members who have the responsibility to complete the whole course, but they keep on lingering it down, and just at the end, just 60 to 65% of the course is covered. So we have to observe, and we have to control all these malpractices and all these deficiencies which are hampering our quality at the campuses, etc. Sir.
One more question, because you are now in
Yeah.
practice also, and I'm also a cost and management accounting techniques lover. and
Yeah.
found and use this thing in so many projects uh, and get result on it. What do you think? Which is right now the cost audit is very restricted to very few companies. And in the past, you are, I think, I guess if I correctly remember your profile, you are also associated with some of ghee or oil organization. Am I
Yeah.
right? Okay. So why this cost audit rights is only restricted to cement, sugar, ghee, oil, and fiber industry? Costing for services, everything, everywhere costing should be in the education department. Everywhere, every item was either services or either product. Whatever you are selling is need to be properly costed, properly accounted. What do you suggest, sir? Need to expand this horizon or just follow the same process?
सर इट इज सेड तू ही नादान था जो चंद कलियों पे कनात कर गया वरना गुलशन में इलाजे तंगी दामा भी था Sir, if we look at the example of India, India has over 60 sectors or 60 type of industries in the ambit of cost audit. And at Pakistan, we have just 5 to 6 types of industries. So what is the reason for that? The reason is that we are not mindful of our responsibilities. We have not been able to set the standards of all those sectors. We have to put in place, for example, standards for textiles, standards for oil and gas, standards for engineering firms, standards for pharmaceuticals, standards for auto. At the time of about 5 to 6 or 8 years ago, there was a chairman of SCCP who was quite energetic on the side of the cost audit, and he used to get input from different people, and he introduced different cost accounting standards and cost accounting framework, and getting the he was used to get the input from the industry as well. So that perhaps that opportunity was not capitalized by the then ICMAP council. So yes, we should take the responsibility of introducing different sectors into it, and alhamdulillah, we have great number of people working in different types of industries, so we can get help from those. And the people who are working in industry, having lots of experience in industry, they can establish the cost accounting standards for those industries, and with the help of lobbying efforts, those sectors can be brought into the ambit of the cost audit. And yes, that is quite possible. If India can do it, if India can bring in more than 60 sectors into the ambit of this cost accounting, cost audit, why can't we? So it is our vision to expand the horizon, to expand the ambit, to expand the scope of cost accounting, cost audit into different, even we would like to have, apart from the industries, we would like to introduce these things to the services sector as well, because services sector also needs this command and cost efficiency, etc. So this is our vision, to introduce this cost accounting, cost costing standards for different sectors as well, inshallah.
Lovely, lovely. Now back to QCR as a quality control review, which is put on the cost audit or cost accountant also. What is your vision on it? As Gauri Saab have another point of view, I would like to have share with you also. What is your vision on this QCR given to ICAP?
Okay, sir, our vision spans from 2010. In 2010, I took the initiative and developed the QCR framework at ICMAP, and I handed over that QCR document to the NC of Mr. Bilgrami. And after Mr. It was the time when there were just few months left for the NC of Mr. Bilgrami, and when the NC of Mr. Zia came, and it put it in abeyance, and it didn't take any action on that despite numerous reminders to them. Well, when the NC of Mr. Kashimatin Ansari came, yes, they activated that, and they introduced these things, and practically made the QCR board effective. And due to their effort, and due to the introduction of a good person, Mr. Tariq, who is fellow member of ICMP as well as fellow member of ICAP as well. So with their efforts, they brought in 6 CMA firms into the ambit of QCR, and 6 firms were QCR rated then. So after the end of the NC of Mr. Kashmatin Ansari and Mr. Iqbal Ghori, then the dark ages again came, and for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, they did not bother to put any attention to the QCR. And I was the person, I highlighted it at the AGM of ICMAP held at Islamabad, and I requested Mr. President to please kindly put some attention to that. And his response was that due to the cost cutting, we have fired the reviewer. I asked, sir, why to fire the QCR reviewer? Even if you have 2 firms, you have to keep that gentleman intact. And that gentleman put great efforts into the capacity building of that. Now, turning out to our vision, inshallah, we would like to, at ICMAP, we have right now 75 to 76 registered firms. Out of that, just 6 were QCR rated. And due to the urgency of SCCP matter, the current council hurriedly put on board about 15 CMA firms that they said are compliant with that. I won't like to comment on that matter, because that may have some repercussions. I would like to comment, but we have the vision. We would like to introduce 2 things. First of all, improvement in the quality of QCR board itself. We would like to have some dynamic personalities on board on the quality assurance board. Similarly, improvement in the QCR reviewer as well. We would like to have a revisit of the qualification and the expertise of the current QCR reviewer, because we have some grievances on it, and we have seen got feedback from that. But I would like to have a comment, some more comment on that. But we would like to have a revisit. So quality on quality assurance board. Similarly, quality for quality QCR reviewer, because I have witnessed, being CFO, I have witnessed the quality of QCR of ICAP. So there were trembling people when their file was selected for QCR. And in fact, sometimes they had to revisit the whole audit and getting all the deficient information into their documents and into their files. So our vision is to put in the quality of QCR board. Dynamic people, learned people must be put in place on the QCR board. Similarly, the reviewer, not just one reviewer. We would like to have a full team who would be not just having the review, they would have the responsibility for capacity building of the CMA firms as well. So there would be some initiatives for their capacity building, for their trainings, their resources improvement, so that they should be compliant with all the international standards of auditing. And if they are compliant, for example, tests of control, the tests of detail, analytical review procedures, audit program, all those things. So they must be put in place, and after capacity building, we would have a good review of that, and it would be a continuous work for the improvement of the quality of the CMA firms. And we would like to have introduced many good things into it. For example, it would not just be QCR rating, and that's it. We would introduce multi-tier QCR ratings into it. And similarly, my vision is that if I am given chance, along with my team, we would like to have competitions of the audit programs. For example, from A's audit program would be selected, and from B's QCR from B's document would be selected, and there would be competition among those. Similarly, we would be holding competitions among the partners of different firms. We would be having the competitions about among the students of those firms and among the managers of those firms. So there would be competitions on that, due to which we would like to have we would like to bring in the quality. You will not have witnessed this thing, the competitions of quality among the firms, but we would like to introduce it, and we would like to reward all those firms who would be getting into those competitions. So this is our vision to improve the quality of the CMA firms. Similarly, sir, now I would like to talk about the startups. All those members, all those qualifieds who want to get into this public practice. Yes, public practice is basically the ambassador of ICMAP. They portray our good face, technically sound enough face in front of the general public and in front of the CEOs and board of directors. So it is our duty, and we feel our responsibility to patronize new CMA firms. So we would create a mechanism through which all the oldie goldie CMA firms would be patronizing the new entrants. For example, they may give us space, room or table where the new entrant, new CMA firm partner would sit, and they would get guidance from the senior partners of the oldie goldie firms. So due to which we would harmonize them, and there would be a mechanism of mentor and mentee. And similarly, we would like to visit on the ways and means of how we would like to introduce articles at ICMAP. Perhaps some people have some reservations on introduction of articles on that, so we would like to have a consensus on that, and after some discussions, we would like to introduce these things as well. So all those things, these would bring in the quality of public practice. Sir.
Thank you very much. One more than the last question. The time is running out. Uh, Thanks for the detailed discussion. In the earlier part of your discussion, you share that the last council you have, your team has many MRAs, did very MOUs and MRAs with different accounting bodies, ACCA, CIMA, CPA, Ireland, etc., etc. We have a very strong network of ICAP, chartered accountancy worldwide. Is there any some sort of co-alliance with ICAP also we have? And if it is nothing there, so why we not go for it? Why we not work with them as an associate rather to work with them as competitor? Sir, over to you.
Sir, another very good question, and I must appreciate you with this question. Well, this depends on the situation, but yes, we can join hands with them. And there are quite good examples of that. For example, at ICMAP, when I was the vice chairman of Islamabad Branch Council, I collaborated with ICAP. And in 2014, this is a good example to quote. In 2014, when I was the vice chairman, I contacted Mr. Rashid Ibrahim at ICAP, and in collaboration with Rashid Ibrahim Saab, ICMAP and ICAP held a joint session on budget at Islamabad Club. So it's a good example. Yes, we should join hands, and because we share the same common market with each other. So instead of getting rude to each other, instead of getting hawks, being hawks to each other, we can have good reconciliation, good understanding with them, because this is the market in which we have to perform. Well, there are quite good examples of ICAP and ICMAP collaborating with each other, because our act of ICAP and act of ICMAP makes us regulators in our own domains. So if we don't interfere into the domains of ICAP and ICAP doesn't interfere into the domains of ICMAP, we can have a good synergy in the local market. First, because all the international accounting bodies are also eyeing into the local market, but our laws give us the regulatory power. For example, SEMA wanted to get into the Pakistani market, but ICMAP did not allow it liberty to do that. Similarly, ACCA wanted to indulge into the scheme of affairs of ICAP, but ICAP also handled it tactfully. So this is the matter. If someone provides you space, we have to reciprocate it by giving the space. So that's a delicate matter, and we would handle it on merit basis. So this was the scenario at local levels. Now let's discuss the scenario at international levels. We would like to collaborate with international accounting bodies like SEMA, like ICAEW. Our council, previous council, 2015-17, took great initiatives, and I must take this opportunity to appreciate Mr. Wakar Ali Khan and two members from Canada. They collaborated really well, and they collaborated and coordinated with CPA Canada, and there were quite good understandings among those, and it was at an advanced level. But unfortunately, when the tenure of NC of Mr. Iqbal Ogori ended, then Mr. Zia didn't take up it with the CPA Canada, and they remained dormant for whole 2 years, and it could not be taken up. Now, if they want to put some effort near the elections, it is unethical. But yes, if they can conclude it at all those good terms that we anticipated, instead of doing a low profile MRE with them, it is good to put some efforts and take some time and have some hard negotiation, and bring in a good aligned MRA with CPA Canada. Similarly, I must appreciate Mr. Wakar Abbasi and all those people who are at the NC, who took initiatives for the MRAs with CPA Canada, with Ireland, and with ICW and SEMA, etc. So our vision is that we would like to revisit all those MRAs, keeping in view our syllabus status, and our vision would be not just to keep it intact, but we would like to tilt it in our favor in future by making changes in our syllabus, by bringing in the research subjects, etc. So our effort and our vision is that we would like to improve all those MRAs, existing MRAs. Similarly, we would like to join hands with the other accounting bodies with whom we don't have right now any MRAs. We would like to collaborate with them and bring in more initiatives for that. Sir, if you allow me, now I would like to discuss something about the overseas members, if we have a time.
Yeah, yeah, you can go for it.
Yeah?
Yes, you can go for it. No problem.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, there were quite a number of people asking questions regarding our NC, regarding our thoughts about the overseas branches. Sir, we would like to keep this process running. There are some legal issues with that, but we would like to handle all those legal issues so that there should not be any legal repercussion. But this is a gentleman word from myself, as well as a word from our team, that we would keep this mechanism and phenomena going. Rather, we would like to strengthen it. How we would like to strengthen it? I have given one example that we would like to take on board and give permanent seat on NC to the overseas members, number one. Number two, we would like to have great empowerment and greater authority to the overseas branches. There should not be any psyche, any thinking of posing some hurdles in the way of overseas branches. Even if there are people not like-minded by us, we have to think about the ICMAP. Sir, overseas members are putting tremendous efforts by keeping the name of ICMAP intact in markets abroad. They have a great contribution. They are helping our members in getting jobs abroad. They are working. Some members are running their practicing firms. Some members are running their entrepreneurial doing their entrepreneurial initiatives. So all those matters are in our side, and we would like to keep a good focus on that, and we would like to introduce some good initiatives. One good initiative that I would like to emphasize is that we would like to introduce full-time employees at different overseas branches. those full-time employees would be looking after the job placements. They would be looking after the administrative matters. They would be looking after all those issues relating to MRAs with international bodies and all those things that are thought necessary. So we would like to have a good balance with the full-time employees and volunteerism, because volunteerism has a limit. So if we have a good full-time employees, they would be beneficial for the overseas members. Similarly, we would like to collaborate internationally with the different HR consultants through those full-time employees, and with the collaboration of the office bearers of those branches. And it would be a continuous sync between the national councils and with the branches. So inshallah, you would see great initiatives, just like one mega conference was held in UAE at the time of last council. We would like to have mega events abroad as well. That would bring in a good improvement in our branding abroad. So we have good insight into it, and there are good part and parcel of ICMAP, and they won't be ignored, inshallah. This is our gentleman commitment that we would take these things to a next level and to higher levels.
Thank you very much, Imran sir, for this such a wonderful session, and you have and sharing your wonderful insights, and give so much detailed clarification about your vision, about your mission, about your future plan, and about your passion about ICMAP. I believe and hopeful and pray for you. You come in the National Council, and whatever you want to execute for the betterment of the profession, you will come execute. And I hope when you come in NC, I will have another session with you and reconcile everything with you with the regarding. But this is on the lighter note. Hopefully, and again, this is a request for my viewers. Watch it and discuss and inbox me whatever your suggestion, whatever your feedbacks about this program. Thank you very much, Imran. Best
Tariq
of
bhai,
luck.
before concluding, I would like to make two requests with our members, if
Yeah.
you allow me.
Yes, sure.
Sir, we are moving through a process of bringing in new leadership at ICMAP. Some members are indifferent
Mhm.
due to the inactiveness. So my request would be to the members, don't be indifferent, because you are stakeholders of ICMAP.
Mhm.
It is your duty, it is your responsibility to keep your connection with ICMAP intact. So, sir, I would request you to please find some time and come for voting, whether it would be local physical voting or it would be online voting abroad. Please spare some time and select the best out of those 22. Put your trust into them and see the difference, inshallah. This is message number one. Message number two, sir, is that this is our collective responsibility. We should not hold just the 8 people on their NC responsible. We are all responsible. Every NC member needs to have a team. So the way you are supporting us right now during election process, we expect that all members, local and abroad, they would support us during our performance. So when we would be at NC, we would be needing your support, your appreciation, and your joining shoulders with our shoulders. Because we at alone cannot bring in the miracles, but if we have teams and if we have the backing of our members, we can create the differences. So we would, inshallah, if we come at the NC, we would like to hold quarterly and semi-annual meet the NC sessions, through which we would like to bring in our performance, as well as would take your feedback and would face your fierce questions if someone or more people at the NC don't perform. So it's a push and pull. So my request is to please spare some time for elections and coming and casting your votes. And number two, when you put some people on NC, don't just leave them. Even if we come or someone else comes, don't leave those people. Stand shoulder with shoulder to them and support them, because it's our mutual responsibility. So, with this message, I would like to thank you, Sharik Bhai, and I would like to thank you, all the members who are supporting us across Pakistan and across the globe. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sharik
you
Bhai.
very much, and this is a wonderful agenda or wonderful initiative you people are going to take and meet the NC. And I would love to chair this session and ask the on behalf of members ask question about the NC performance. Thank you very much, Imran. Again, अपना ख्याल रखिएगा.